GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With insuremyvan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at insuremyvan.ie.
Welcome along once again. Here we go, another Glory Days. Actually, do you know something? This is a significant Glory Days podcast today.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, because you may have heard at the start there's a sponsor.
We have a sponsor.
Imagine somebody spending money on this rubbish.
Yeah, well, I guess because of the sponsor, it's insuremyvans.ie, right?
Yeah.
So they're thinking, where can you find even more nonsense? Room for it.
Yeah.
This is like the van of the show, you know what I mean?
Yeah, because in fairness, insuremyvan.ie sponsor the actual show.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, in fairness, has some things of quality in it, like the news and stuff like that.
I don't think that's
but
what
this,
they're after.
I mean, there's literally nothing but idiocy here.
Yeah, well, pure entertainment, raw.
But can I just say a very big thank you to insuremyvan.ie
Definitely.
for taking on, maybe it was probably a sympathy vote.
Where's the real show? You know, the actual show itself, that's more like, it's more like a fine saloon with leather seats. This, I suppose, this really is...
It's full-blown dodgy high-ace.
Yeah, this is the high-ace van. Equivalent, yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. Anyway, listen, so big thanks to them, insuremyvan.ie, you're very kind. And also, if you're a regular listener to PJ and Jim in any form over the years, okay, you'll probably know that I am the victim of a great deal of verbal abuse.
Definitely not the truth.
Like a shocking amount of verbal abuse.
No idea what you're talking about.
One particular facet of that is I have been unfairly compared to, I think Gorilla has been used, Silverback has been used, General Primate of all Ireland has been used,
and yes, you say,
hairy-backed, other things have been, like, shocking.
I don't think... I love the way Jim turns everything into abuse. Basically, I was going to thank him today. I was going to say if it wasn't for the likes of Jim, we'd never would have come up. I mean, thank God, Jim McCabe is one of the original wankers of the world. It turns out primates, evolutionary biologists, have traced the origins of human masturbation to ancient civilizations that predate humanity, much like Jim himself. And that if it wasn't for them, we never would have... we never would have found ourselves, for want of a better phrase.
So now I'm an old wanker. Is that that's what you're saying to me?
And you've taught the best of us, Jim. You've taught the best of us. If it wasn't for,
bad enough being made sound like a gorilla. So you're making me out like that lad you're always talking about in Dublin Zoo. Used to be there.
Yeah, the poor mentally ill chimpanzee fella that used to be there.
How do you know that? You can't...
because nobody goes at themselves that much if they're not well.
Well, I mean, if they literally invented the sport.
Oh, no, geez. This fella, there was something wrong with him.
Imagine it became competitive.
Competitive sport, yeah. How's it going? And there's, I see Jim McCabe is going for the longer stroke on this method here, where we have, the little fella next to him going hammer and tongs. Really there trying to catch up.
Anyway, so you're making me sound like what did you say your man's name was?
Who? Oh, the little monk. I can't remember his name. Was it a real posh name like Clive or something like that? Oh
no, I don't.
Sylvester.
Clive was the one in.
That was in Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
Right turn, Clive. Yeah, that was a different one.
Just when you're finished, that is.
Yeah, your turn, Clive. So there's. But that was it. You hit that poor fella. There was something wrong with that monkey years ago. The zoo now is so brilliant. Dublin Zoo is so brilliant now. It's all about conservation now.
Right.
And the world, I think we've got to a point where we can't have no zoos. Unfortunately, we can't have no zoos. We need good zoos. Because there's animals that will go extinct if we don't look after them and stuff like that. But back in the day, it was a bit Victorian. Animals who weren't happy. And the crocodile in the box with $3.90 and change on the top of his head.
Was it a crocodile? I thought it was a hippo.
Oh no, it was a crocodile or an alligator. $3.90 and change. Young fella's going, do something.
Yeah, couldn't even turn around.
And then your man Clive or whatever, at the end of the zoo, just when you're about to leave, and he's in there, he's throwing his banana left, right and centre. Every time you look at him, he's at us, he's up in the corner with us, he's looking at you, and he was real angry about it. He'd be looking at you and he'd be tugging on his banana going as if to go, what are you looking at? Yeah?
Maybe he realised that brought him a greater deal of attention.
Well, it certainly did, but my favourite zoo story ever is when Ronnie Drew, there was the parrot handler, back in the day, the old guy in the aviary, and he taught the parrot, he was a big fan of the Dubliners.
Right.
And he taught the parrot to say the Dubliners' names, So, Luke Kelly, Drew, and Ronnie Drew, by pure chance, was in the zoo one day, and he looked at the parrot, and the parrot went, Paddy Drew. And he was like, my dear Jesus, he knows me.
How famous are the
He goes,
Dubliners?
you can't go, any.
Really?
So he couldn't even go to the zoo. The parrot was asking for a request.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And actually, speaking of that poor old crocodile, remember you had that instance with
I rang.
with Damian Dempsey.
I will be embarrassed about it for the rest of my life. So I had this idea. I was doing stand-up. I was doing a tour, writing a tour, right?
Yeah.
And I thought it would be an amazing thing to, at the end, I would do this joke all about Damian Dempsey, right? And I had this routine worked out where I was slagging off Damian to a point going,
Yeah.
like, you know, like that, does he talk like that all the time? You know,
Yeah.
in this rhyme.
Exactly.
So
This is the brilliant routine where nobody laughed and that woman stood up and went, well done, PJ. Well done.
Yeah, in fairness, it needed work, right? It did. It wasn't great, but I thought it was good. But I did, yeah, I know. So my thing was, does he ring the mechanic? Like, does he drive up to the mechanic with his car and say, "What's the story? What's the problem with it, Damien?" And he goes, "I put the key in the ignition. She doesn't turn over. Oh, what a tragedy! How to transport the family?" You know. And I was like, is he like that all the time?
Yeah.
You know, like, hey, what's wrong with your dishwasher? Poor clothes. The clothes of the family will turn in the water. You know, is that... You know? And
right.
So I thought I was going to do this thing about the zoo and your man and his the banana.
Yeah,
your man and
pulling
his
his banana
banana.
off him.
And the alligator with the thing. And then that they all were like, they were animals who were from the Sahara or whatever, but they grew up in Dublin. They were never anyone. So when they're thinking, do they have Dublin accents? You know?
Right, yeah.
So I was going to think, so is your man in there going, Jesus would love a bag of popcorn? You know what I mean? Like the monkeys are talking.
Exactly, yeah.
So I thought I would do this routine. I'd already done it. And then, at the end of the show, Damian Dempsey would come out and he would sing, "In the jungle, the mighty jungle, the lion sleeps tonight." You know.
Brilliant, yeah.
I thought,
What a finale.
what a finale.
Crowd goes wild. Yeah, all this. That was the plan.
Yeah, and you know the way he'd be making it. Hush now, darling, don't fear me, darling, the lion sleep tonight. I thought it'd be brilliant.
Yeah.
That was the plan. So I ring him up laughing and says, "Damien, thanks for taking the call. I have a great idea. You know the way there was the alligator in the zoo and he had like 390 and change on the top of his head? And Damien, you forget, he's just not a comedian." Yeah.
It was terrible. A prehistoric beast, killer machine, sitting in a glass box with change on his head.
And I was like, yeah, oh yeah, that was terrible. Anyway.
But anyway, about the thing.
Yeah, but you know the way it was a bit fun.
Crime against nature.
But you know the way people be laughing and all.
Yeah, laughing at something denied its freedom for years, tortured its existence. I was like, oh Jesus.
I've read this wrong.
I've read this so wrong. And I was there, and then I'm going, yeah, well, you know the way, and then there was the monkey who would be pulling himself off and all. And he was,
Mighty primate.
do you know he goes there, he goes,
What is it you want me to do?
and I goes, I was just thinking, yeah, I told him the story, and then you come out and you go, "In the jungle," and he goes,
When is it?
and it was, it's the told him the date straight away.
I'm very busy that day.
I was like, okay.
So the great comedy creation never happened.
No, and in fairness, he was really sound about it. Like,
Yeah,
he didn't
yeah.
say, "This is nothing. I would never put my name
Yeah,
to it. This
yeah.
is fucking ludicrous." Like,
Yeah.
which is probably what he should have said. But like, he did. He humoured me. Do you know what I mean? But yeah.
I should let this imbecile finish his sentence.
But he's such a serious fella. I met him once. I was walking through St. Anne's. Did you know?
Yeah.
And I can't remember what the name of the tree was, but I met him. All right, Damien. What's the
the
story?
name of the tree.
Yeah, I'll get there. So I was walking through, and it was like, "All right, Damien," and he's like, "Yeah." He's like,
Who are you?
I was like, "Oh yeah, you know yourself. I'm out walking the dogs." And
And he goes, yeah, I was standing here looking at the tree. The
spruce. That's it.
I was looking at the spruce. The great historic tree to the Irish people.
And I laughed.
He goes, seriously, you should read about it.
And I was like, "Fucking hell, I'm not able for this. Like, I can't." You know?
This is brilliant.
Yeah.
Spruce, a very historic tree to the Irish people.
I was like, "The spruce."
Wow.
I was there going, here's me thinking, can you get conkers off? You know, I was like, and then all of a sudden I'm on the back foot because I'm not. I have to build up to that level of conversation. I can't just jump in.
And
you know.
and could you come back with anything? Could you come back with any sort of piece of, like, you know, sort of weighty, something with a bit of gravitas? Could you return to him? You know, with something?
Yes, I did. Yeah. I suppose you're busy this time of year, are you?
Yes, I am, PJ. Work. It's a very honourable task.
Yeah, thank God he didn't know me information now. I would have gone, did you know monkeys have been wanking in trees for 40 million years?
Yeah.
Some of them are friends of Jim.
Actually, you know something? I hope it doesn't get back to Damian Dempsey. That we ended up spending so much time talking about him from the original start of how monkeys were the original wankers. Yeah, they were talking about you the other day. Apparently, did you invent masturbation?
That's it. Someone will get it all wrong. That's it. That's what they'll do. Yeah, I heard your man PJ says you're a wanker. What? Yeah.
He's a very noble beast.
Yeah.
What a dishonourable beast that comedian is. I'd love to put 490 and change in the back of his head.
Put him in the glass case
No,
on public display.
Put him on the ground. I'd put with the seed of a spruce. Something.
Oh my God!
I don't know.
Tell you something. He looks like a strong man. You're on your own.
Yeah, I know. And the thing is, he's the nicest man. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He accommodated my stupid shit.
And
That's the thing, you know.
To be fair, I'm sure he'd be the first to say, I'm laughing on the inside.
Yeah.
It may not look like it, but I am having a very good time. Right now, I'm more ecstatically happy than I have
Ever been.
I feel like the men of 1916 must have felt when they made the decision to fight for the people of this fine land.
Oh.
I wish you well, farewell, and good luck.
Oh my God! Right, listen. While we get off this track, have a listen to some of the bits from the show during the week.
Yeah, we'd like to thank our sponsors.
Insure my van.ie.
Imagine getting Daniel to sing that.
Insure.
Insure my van.ie.
Right, listen.
And when you bend down, bend at the knee. Keep your back straight.
Right, some of the best bits from during the week. Bizarre. Obviously, it was the week that the Leaving Cert began, so we ended up talking about the Leaving Cert, and PJ, of course, couldn't resist giving his very wise words of advice.
Oh, yeah, you can imagine what they... After hearing what we said for the last 20 minutes, you can imagine what they are.
You can imagine what he was saying to the future of the nation. Also, we ended up having... Well, PJ claimed initially that he'd met a friend of mine. I'm a bit concerned about this particular friend who turned out to know literally nothing about me.
Yeah, nothing. I swear, wait till you hear this. He went on and on about how your fat fella's brilliant. And then, whatever his image of Jim McCabe is, I'm not joking you, basically a fella in a tree 40 million years ago would have more similarities than
Exactly.
this fella.
Also, of course, we're talking about the story that Netflix are going to have a crackdown now when you're sharing your passwords and all that sort of stuff, and the impact it could have, the unfairness of it all.
Oh, the unfairness. Yeah, absolutely.
Unfair. And then, of course, as well, we were. It was a Saints' Day. There was a significant. Well, I say a significant day. There was a Saints' Day during the week. We just never heard of him before. Yeah,
that's never heard of him before.
Yeah.
And that led us to, well, basically a whole load of saints we never knew.
There are some saints that just never quite made it. They wouldn't be star saints.
No, they really are. It's 390 on the head saints, really, yeah.
Have a listen, and we'll talk to you on the other side.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With insuremyvan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at insuremyvan.ie.
Now, did you know it is a feast day today?
It is a feast day today. It is officially St. Claude's Day today.
St. Claude's Day.
So I saw...
What a St. Claude is.
Well, that's it, St. Claude. I have to say, I never heard much about St. Claude, so immediately on looking at his name, I just thought, well, he's the patron saint of, you know, all saints have some job when it comes from the heavens to the grounds that they're supposed to take care of. It turns out St. Claude is the patron saint of toys, bad luck and twitching, which is a strange job, really.
It's a strange
when you're
combo,
given
for sure.
a divine stuff to look after. Toys, okay, I get that.
Patron saint of toys.
I suppose toy maker, maybe. Is that? I don't know. But bad luck.
Why would you be the patron saint of bad luck?
It's amazing.
Whoever prays for
Dear St. Claude, on this day of the feast of St. Claude, could you please just make it more difficult for Jim than usual?
Oh, right.
Is that what you do?
You could pray for bad luck for somebody else.
I don't know. It seems very unsaintly.
I was just about to say, it doesn't seem very godly.
Yeah, or at least make him do a bit of twitching for the day. I have no idea what twitching is.
Is that twitching as in a physical twitch, or as in, what do they call people who bird watch?
Twitchers. Oh, yeah, as in...
It's hardly that. Surely they just say bird watching.
What gets me is, you know the way the saints, is it like, when you go to the doll? You go to the doll and then the government comes together and say, right, okay, thank you for coming, everybody. We have the ministerial positions.
Thank you for coming,
everybody. Thank you for coming, everybody. Welcome to the Doll Ireland. We're going to hand out the ministers, the positions. You know the way?
Right.
So they go like, Jerry Farrelly, Dunleary Ratdown, you get sport.
Right.
Is it like that with the saints? And they go, okay, Saint Cahatan. Well, St. Matthew will go. You're the patron saint of joiners, The guards, patron saint of the guards is Peter of Alcantara. Well done, patron saint there. And then the list gets sort of slim. So it's like, St. Magnus is apparently you're the patron saint against invasive caterpillars.
Is that real?
Yeah, St. Magnus.
There's a patron saint against caterpillars.
Wait a minute, what are you talking about? Why do I get to pay against caterpillars? Who got sport? Ignatius got sport. Ah, yeah. Ignatius gets everything around here. You think yourself lucky.
It's an unusual against caterpillars.
Yeah, and they go, you think you're bad? Saint Drazianus. He's the patron saint of invincible people. Sure, he's nothing to do. They don't need anything.
They never pray for anything.
Yeah.
They're literally invincible.
Yeah. And then there's the Saint Bibiana. She's after getting the patron saint of hangovers. I mean, she's flat out. June bank holiday weekend.
God. Yeah. I didn't realise you could actually pray once, for relief from a hangover.
Yeah. And then look at this. Saint Catherine of Alexandria, right?
Right, okay.
Wait, you see her job. Patron saint of unmarried girls, apologists, potters, spinners, archivists, dying people, educators, girls, jurors, knife sharpeners, lawyers, librarians, libraries, maidens, mechanics, millers, hat makers, nurses, philosophers, preachers, scholars, school kids, scribes, secretaries, spinsters, stenographers, students, tanners, theologians, the University of Paris, just look after that as well, haberdasheries, wheelwrights, the Philippines and Greece.
Wow.
Sure, all of eternity wouldn't get her done,
She'd turn around, she'd go, can I just not do the caterpillars? No, she only has to do caterpillars.
And then you get St. Vitus, who is the patron saint of oversleeping. Talk about an unfair workload.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
We sat there in the park the other day, so I was chatting away to a woman there, the two of us having a little bit of an ice cream and coffee, and where the local drunk kept interrupting, and
the local drunk.
Yes, I think it must have been. Yeah.
Right, okay.
And he kept interrupting, just kept coming over and having chats.
When you say the local, do you know this bloke?
No, but everybody else in the park seems to, because every time we went near them, he could, oh my God, here he is again.
Right.
So there's a bit of that going on.
Okay.
Well, it turns out he's J.R. McCabe's biggest fan.
Who?
You, apparently. He says, you're on the Radio Nova. And I says, yeah, I am. And he goes, yeah, I hear you, Radio Nova, yeah. 6 till 10, isn't it? Yeah. And you're on with J.R. McCabe. I says, I am.
J.R. McCabe?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're on with him.
God, my fame goes far and wide, doesn't it? J.R.
Yeah, and then he goes off. Very good, him. He's great. J.R. McCabe. Very good friend of mine, he says.
What?
Yeah, and I was very good friends. He goes, yeah. Very good. I know his wife. Met him in town there a while back. And I says, what's his wife's name? Just as,
Yeah.
And he goes, Phyllis. He goes, now, anyone who knows Jim knows he knows nobody called Phyllis. And there's definitely not his other half's name.
Yeah.
And I was Phyllis, yeah. Yeah, that's it. He goes, I thought you would have known his wife. You're in there with Jared every day.
With Jer?
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah, you go.
So a good friend of mine who doesn't know my name.
Yeah.
All right.
So Jer McCabe and Phyllis are his very good friends. Very good friends. And he says he loves listening to the show because Jer he's very good. He sets you up lovely, Jer does. He's great. I don't think you'll be able to do that in there without him. He must be doing the radio a long time. He says, he's very good on the Micron, he says. And I was like, What? And he says, the Micron, the thing you talk into, the yoke, the Micron. I was, yes, the Micron.
Yeah.
I do.
Wow.
There's no point in correcting him.
How drunk was this man?
Very drunk. And he was spitting. There was more saliva on me at the end of this conversation than there ever has been. He was the most hydrated alcoholic in Ireland.
Oh my God!
I'll give me all of that. Yeah. Oh, the micker on this and that and the whole. And then he went into the pub. I thought, thank God he's gone. Anyway, he got thrown out of the pub. So he decided to come back and say, I was thrown out of the pub. I was telling them in there about me good friends, Jer and Phyllis, and how they walk on the micker on. I was like, said, what's the score in the match? He says, it's 1-0. I said, right, it wasn't. It was over. So
right.
And
was this is the FA Cup,
this is the FA Cup.
Right, okay.
It was over.
It was over.
It's 1-0 so far, he says. Redford scored the goal. Right, Redford scored the goal. This went on and on for ages. And then he goes, there's after being a bomb in Moscow, I think we're all in trouble now. I says, he goes, Pluto's going to blow us all up. Yeah. Pluto is going to blow us all up now. I said, yeah, he might do. Yeah, he might do. I said, yeah. He goes, I don't want to be interfered, he says. He was at this for hours. Over and back and over and back. Anyway, tell Jared I was asking for him if Pluto doesn't get to us first.
GloryDaze. The best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With insuremyvan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at insuremyvan.ie.
As a general thing to everybody taking part in, why do you keep saying taking part?
Because
it's like it's a sports game.
Yeah, you talk about it like it's they're volunteering to do it.
I make it sound like they signed up to do the women's mini marathon.
Yeah, you do. You're going to get a medal. English paper 1, you get a medal when you're finished today.
Anyway, if you're doing junior or leaving cert today, just very best of luck from us.
Look,
that'll make a huge difference.
And
straight away, I'd say you feel better already. There, Jim's I'd say best of luck there. So what could possibly go wrong?
Right, you see the way Jim has done that. Fair play to him. But let's hit it. Let's give you some real. Let's get real here, right?
Okay.
Are you cacking it? You should be. Yeah, well, you know that
again. Just to clarify, right? PJ isn't actually an educator or indeed qualified in necessarily. So this is very much an opinion piece.
Let me give you...
This is an editorial piece.
This is where Jim undermines me. This is where we were saying this earlier. This is Jim says, before I say it, and Jim goes, I would like you to know that the following is for entertainment purposes only. But the truth, if you're hacking it, you should be. Yeah, you should be absolutely hacking it. But you know the way? You know why you should be hacking it? Because you're about to waste your time on a glorious level. Because English paper 1 is today. Let me tell you, if you can do the exam, if you can write your name at the top of it and read the questions, you've passed as far as the world is concerned. No one is going to ask you. You know what I mean? Most of us need the leaving cert and the junior. The junior cert is about as important as a paper bag on a wet day. You're never going to even remember what the results are.
Yeah. As I pointed out earlier on, it's unusual that they don't, the way
try this.
They roll out education ministers and psychologists and everything to talk about preparation.
Flutes, the lot of them.
They don't, it's a piece of you they don't come to you for a news quote.
See when your dad goes,
it's very important that you do the living sort. You'll give yourself choices in your life.
We all have choices in our life, you bleeding idiot. Take your tie off and relax. Simple fact is, ask him what he got. He won't remember. And you're going to feel the pressure. They're going to be putting the pressure on, because...
What about college, PJ? You know what I mean? College places.
Yeah.
Points. What do points make? Prizes.
That's all they do. Prize. Do you know what they make? Points make prize tossers. Do you ever see those kids? They come out and do it. And RTE will have them on. Some lad called Schnochter or Kabosh and they'll be on.
Yes, I got 650 points and that's not even humanly possible. So I guess I can do whatever I like.
We can all do whatever we like. And nobody likes him. Nobody likes him.
Well, I'm sure there might be somebody likes him.
No, but even his parents are going, geez, you think he'd do something else with his time. Only study. God, and in fairness, he might be able to do anything he likes, but will he enjoy it, Jim?
That's the secret.
I doubt it.
Yeah.
It's a mad old thing. That,
To be fair, I suppose really coming from us, it's... You wouldn't be putting a huge amount of
Once again, Jim McCabe would like to remind you that I've never done a leaving cert. In fact, I never went to school after I was 15. Yeah, Jim McCabe loves bringing that up.
I'm only just saying...
Mr. Third level education over there, even though he wasn't allowed to go home at night time. I'm not sure it counts as a college course if you weren't allowed out when you and your cellmates had to do it together. When one of you was working on a tunnel.
I have never been in prison. What is this criminal thing?
They do them.
Whatever it was. I am above reproach. My record is clear.
Yeah, okay, sorry, Mr. Third level education over here. Of course, he's done it, so he's thinking it must be worth something. All I'm saying is, as somebody who's never done it.
No, quite the opposite. What I'm pointing out is, you just said you haven't done anything, right? And I've done what I did, and we've both ended up in the same place.
That's actually not true. Jim worked hard. Jim did his leaving. Jim went to third level education. Jim runs the show. I watched Jim work.
So who's the last laugh?
So, if you want to work for a living, by all means, get the head down.
Wow.
You want to enjoy your life and watch other people work and probably end up exactly the same.
Isn't there's obviously the papers are full of stories this morning about people having recurring nightmares and everything.
I know.
I mean, I don't remember it being that bad.
Oh, definitely. It's
Mind
traumatic.
you, I mean, it was probably, in our case, it was 100 years ago, but...
Yeah. Well, I suppose Jim literally had to do it sitting in the hedge. They all had to go quiet when the Brits walked past. Doing it with chalk. They were
History was a very different subject in those days.
Yeah. They called it the leaving cert when Jim did it because when you were finished, you had to get the coffin shipped to America. You had to leave. You had to get on the boat. Leave. Take your education with you.
I can't believe I'm the one getting the kicking in this situation.
Well, that's what the thing, that Jim. It luckily, half-wits like me never did it. They left us here to repopulate and grow.
GloryDaze. It's the very best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
News that, if you're slightly... Well, I wouldn't say criminal, right? You don't want to go criminal on this.
No,
I mean,
definitely
it may technically be bending the rules.
Yeah, well, it's not the crime of the century, let's be honest. Who hasn't signed up for some sort of streamer,
Streamer?
Yeah, what you
To be honest with you, this isn't even on that level. This is just being... You could argue that this is, a display of generosity.
I would definitely say that. We all like to share. What's the point in having Netflix if you can't share it with someone, right?
There you go.
So people are on Netflix. Now they're saying you're going to have to pay an extra $4.99 a month. It'll be more for us in Ireland now. This is the English price. So, I'll go up if you want to share your password with someone outside your house. Now, I know people saying, well, it's supposed to be for the household. Oh, get over yourself. People who have kids or... I don't know, mistresses, or they have, I don't know, people are going to hotels or travelling around, members of the family, whatever,
Because I thought you could log in on multiple devices.
You can.
Right.
Yeah, but they're saying they're going to crack down on it. They say, they're saying they do so many documentaries, and maybe if you didn't do so many crime dramas, we wouldn't have had this idea in the first place, Netflix. Maybe it's just time to look at yourself.
How are they going to crack down on it?
I'm not sure, but they're really looking into it. There has been a crackdown. There was a few lads put away for the dodgy boxes there recently.
That's right. Sky they brought a load up in England.
Oh, they hit them very, very hard.
30 years or something.
30 years accumulated. Now, it wasn't like, one poor fella going, but I only sold them in the cul-de-sac.
These are the bosses who ran the who were actually doing the stream.
Yeah.
Not the lad who met you in the car park of the Dart and handed the fire stick in your window.
Yeah. This is it, yeah.
Did that ever happen anywhere?
That's never happened. Never heard of it. I don't know how Jim knows how much about this. That's that sort of thing. But they're coming down hard. I don't know. It's sharing. It's sharing. You can share anything with your family. If I buy a couch, imagine going into DFS or going into Des Kelly. I want a parquet floor. Well, how many people's going to be walking on it? Excuse me? Are people who don't live in the house, are they going to be walking on it? Well, sometimes. Oh, well, that's an extra 20% straight away.
Yeah.
You know, and buying a couch, will you be sleeping on it? I don't know, I haven't decided. What?
Well, I mean, we'll have to apply the sleeping supplement.
It's okay, your family. What if a visitor wants to stay in the couch some night? We haven't made money for that. You'd be like, guess.
Yeah.
I'm sharing something I'm paying for.
Or if you go into a chipper and go, it'll be a fresh cod and we'll just share a chips, will we? Yeah. Oh, you're sharing? Are you? You'll be sharing a chips, will you?
Yeah.
Right, well, I'm afraid I'm going to have to add something for that.
I might, yeah.
There's a sharing supplement.
Oh,
you'll have to pay the single person supplement on that.
Yeah, you're going to share, are you? Will I just pull down the shutters and set fire to my house, will I? Is that what you want me to do? If everyone came in here and wanted to share their food, do you think I'd have a business? Get out! Say,
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, at the end of the day, if you've paid I get the idea of, I suppose, if there's a lad, right, if there's somebody logging in as, I don't know, Sailor Steve 05, right, and that's the password that's showing up on like 700 accounts.
Yeah.
I suppose at that stage you might say, I know here, you know what I mean? I know you might be generous and all, but...
But you know something, Sailor Steve... Why wouldn't he have 700 accounts? He's a man of the world.
Well, that's true, yeah. He could have a girl in every port.
A girl in every port. They're all once. Do you want me Disney? Oh, I'll have your Disney too. Yeah, I'll have your Optimus Prime.
Because wasn't you saying that was a thing when people broke up? That
was a big thing.
Somebody had access.
You changed the password.
Yeah.
To out of spite. Yeah. I won't have him getting €2 worth of television off me every month. You know. Yeah, that became a real thing, yeah. People getting you've been cut off officially when you go onto someone else's Netflix and your password has been changed. Happened to me loads of times.
Somebody says here, lads, listen to this. Anytime I sign into Netflix, it tells me I'm in a different county altogether. I spoke to Netflix. They couldn't give me an answer as to how they're going to resolve it. Different county.
Remember I opened my Netflix and there was I got into my details or whatever. I couldn't figure out what was going on. Why all my feed was weird. And then I got on, and all my details, except for my credit card and phone number, would be changed to Colombia. So there was a Colombian family. And all my devices were erased off it. So I had to get back on through the laptop. You know the way you can't do that on the iPad or the phone or anything?
Right.
And there was I'm watching, because I was trying to watch something and says, no, at the moment, as many devices as can be used are being used. I was there going, I'm not in Colombia.
So you were in the reverse situation. They were saying to you, well, how do we know that your family aren't in Colombia?
Yeah, but this is the thing. And then you send the whole... Because I couldn't figure out what's happening. And the automated bots and all.
Yeah.
You're going, why can't I not watch my account? And he goes, well, sorry, Jose. I'm here to help you. I'm like, this is getting ridiculous. I had to get an adult to do it for me.
Great.
But then I cut them off. Because they had all my details. I got an email from the Elvin saying, I hope you're happy with yourself.
Yeah. Wouldn't even
Yeah.
share with a poor family in Colombia.
Kids were watching Shrek.
Unbelievable. We were literally watching Narcos to see where we're going to appear on it.
Yeah, they were going, we only made it. We have to make it home. Oh, hope you're happy. And then Netflix was I couldn't find it. Everything was recommended to me in Spanish for about 6 months after it.
GloryDaze, the best of Morning Glory with PJ and Jim on Radio Nova.
With insuremyvan.ie, the van insurance specialists. See how much you can save at insuremyvan.ie.
There we go. Some of the best bits from during the week from Morning Glory. Oh my God! I tell you, I've nothing left to say. I'm still struggling with the start of this podcast. To be perfectly honest with you,
yeah, me too.
And part of me is living in and will live in fear of ever encountering either of the two things that we were talking about.
Yeah, exactly. An alligator or Damian Dempsey.
Or even a monkey and
Yeah, I know. Yeah. And now it's gas, isn't it? All the stupid. I'm dying to ring a Chinese now tonight and just pretend I'm Damian Dempsey and see if they think it is. Do you know that way?
See if you can pull it off.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
Imagine, this is Damian Dempsey. I would like to order Chinese meal.
What would you like?
Chicken fried rice with curry sauce. Don't forget the chicken balls.
Yeah, I want to do that, yeah. But anyway.
I hope that the next time you have to appear on a television show, it's with Damian Dempsey.
He won't go. He wouldn't. He'd be. I'm not sitting next to him. I'm not sitting next to him.
Nothing against him, but he does bring down the tone.
Right. Listen, folks, whatever you do for your week, enjoy it. Good luck.
We all have our particular parts to play. God save Ireland.
You've been listening to Glory Days, the best of Radio Nova's Morning Glory with PJ and Jim. Catch the show live weekdays 6 to 10 on FM, online at nova.ie, or on the Nova app.